Very good evening. Very warm welcome to Bombay Chartered Accountants Society, Finance, Corporate and Allied Laws First Study Circle meeting. Being a first study circle meeting, we are starting our inning with a very hot topic, RERA from practice perspective. I was thinking why RERA topic and the starting topic for the first study circle. And when I was looking at the things, what's happening around and economic scenarios today and all that things, I came across an article yesterday only in Money Control that there are in the first quarter of financial year 24-25, that is April to June, real estate companies, only 21 listed real estate companies have booked sales worth around 35,000 crores only in the first quarter. One of the top company in that is Godrej, followed by DLF and many others, and all that is. DLF has done threefold of the comparative of the last year during the same period. Okay. So the growth is humongous. When the growth is there, definitely challenges are there in relation to compliance. Professional support is required. So definitely this is the right time to update and brief the professionals about the compliance related to real estate industry. RERA came into existence since about 2016. It is not a very old law, but since it is a young law, very few chartered accountants have tapped this opportunity. And Bombay Chartered Accountants Society, in compliance with its aim and fulfilling its objective, is always keen to share the knowledge, to give the platform to various professionals, brief them about what are the opportunities and support them for the new practice areas. So this is one of the objective of having the session on RERA. To address us on this topic, we have a very young and dynamic chartered accountant, CA Aditya Zantye, with us. Aditya is in practice since around 8 years. So I think RERA and Aditya both started their career together and both are doing very well. He is currently partner in Accord and Company. When I was going through his profile, I think I found in that there is no other person can be other than better than him to address us on this topic. He has delivered many lectures on RERA. He has also delivered lecture on RERA refresher course in WIRC. He has been convener of RERA study circle during 21-22. He has been convener of RERA study circle of WIRC in 22-23 also. Ex-treasurer, ex-treasury, ex-secretary of RERA Practitioners Welfare Association, co-authored first and second edition of WIRC Maha-RERA Law and Practice Book published by Taxman in 2021 and 2024. So many things only into RERA. So Aditya, I'm sure Aditya will do the justice to the topic and everyone will agree at the end of the session on the same. Aditya, floor is yours. You can start the session.
Thank you. First of all, I thank you and Raj for having me here, and it is my honor to be a part of this esteemed Bombay Chartered Accountants Society. So I got an opportunity of addressing the fellow members. It is my privilege, and I hope I would do justice for this. So today's topic, I got an understanding from the committee members that we have to introduce RERA as a new practice area, and what is a better day than today, because yesterday itself we have got our new website of RERA. So 1st September we have total new website which is new for all the professionals across Maharashtra who are into RERA. So now it is the right time, those who are not involved into the practice of RERA, they can have directly exposure to the new website. Obviously, the new website, we will take time to get used to it, and we will take time to introduce this to the all members. But in today's seminar, I would like to introduce you to some aspects which are changed. I will not go in detail because as many of them might be new to RERA itself. So it would not do justice of directly introducing the new website. Whereas we have gone through the entire website and still there is a lot of chance of improvement with from the side of the technical part. There has to be certain improvements which, so it will be very early phase to talk about the new website. So currently we will have an exposure of the entire RERA, what are the forms which we are going to deal and how we are going to tackle those forms in comparison to the earlier forms which were there. Because in today's seminar, I would like to introduce you to the latest form, that is 2A, which was released on 16th August 2024 also. So the forms are also changing, the website is changing. So it is very dynamic law, because with respect to the public demand and time to time in relation to the project, a lot of changes happens in this law. I will just share my screen. So this is my today's topic, that is RERA from practice perspective, that we are going to deal how as a practicing chartered accountant we are going to deal with this subject, and from what are the opportunities available for the professionals in the RERA law. Now you will understand that in the PPT also you will understand that there are timely compliances needs to be done now, and hopefully they will have certain quarterly compliances penalties and non-submission of form 1, 2, 3, form 5 timely. So we will see now in near future. Till now what was happening, there are penalty provisions, but only for certain aspects penalties were being charged, because they wanted that compliance has to be obtained and all the projects should get completed. So that was the intention. But slowly, if the project are getting stalled, or if they are not getting timely completed, then they will charge the penalties for non-compliances of the quarterly updates, or you can say whatever the requirements of extension are there. So if you are not taking timely extensions, so they might charge the penalties, and there will be system driven penalties. So you can see the new website which I have witnessed yesterday, and today also I have gone through immensely through that website. So I have come to know that in the quarterly updates also, they have introduced certain things wherein they would definitely come to know that whether you have submitted, the updates. If yes, then there will be a different color of the tile which is being used for those compliances. And if you are not submitting it on time, but you are submitting, so then the color changes. And if you are not submitted at all, then also there are classification of tiles. So such kind of data driven approach they are using, that whether you have complied lately, or you have not complied at all. So these are the three parameters which I have observed in the new website, which was earlier not there. तो आप सब लोग को ये समझना पड़ेगा कि अब जो हम लोग, हाँ, ड्यू डेट के बाद है तो रेरा से कुछ पेनल्टीज तो नहीं आ रहा है, तो सबमिट जो एक रिलैक्स वहां पे हुआ था थोड़ा सा इतने साल में, वहां पे कि हाँ आफ्टर ड्यू डेट ऑल्सो वी जस्ट हैव टू कंप्लाई, बट देयर वर डेट्स. RERA was having all the dates of submissions, but now they have proper classification, whether you have submitted, not submitted at all, or submitted but after due date. So this is the information they will have. So now timely compliances you have to take seriously if you want to practice in RERA, because the main issue here is we know the start date of the project and we know the completion date of the project, which is declared by the promoter. So everything needs to be properly functional into that particular dates only. So all the compliances, if you will see, right from the submission of forms or giving a date of completion of the amenities, or by what date the parking facilities will be available, it everything revolves around whatever the dates has been declared as project completion date. So that is very much important for us also to see to it that our clients do the timely compliances, and we see to it that whatever dates are being given in the act and in the rules, that has to be adhered to. So that is the first and foremost. In today's seminar, you have to understand that timely compliances is the key for RERA compliances. These are the various forms for a new practitioner or the practitioner who is into RERA for the first time he is entering into, so your particular aspects you have to deal with this form 1, 2, 2A, 3, 4, 5. तो ये फॉर्म्स जो है ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है एंड ये अभी तक हम लोग क्या कर रहे थे कि these forms we were submitting it offline. That means how we were submitting, we were creating those forms on the Word file में हम लोग create कर रहे थे, उसको फिर PDF में convert करके we used to take the print and then we used to sign by the promoter and the professional and then we used to upload it back. But now this procedure also has been changed. The content is not changed except for form 2A. The content of these forms remains which was given in the latest amendment regulations 2021. So now 2021 and 2024, one more amendment regulations came just recently. In that they have changed form 2A. But rest all the forms remains the same. But now what they have done is they are capturing single point of information. So at one time, if you will fill the information, it will automatically get replicated in the given particular form, and you have to generate those forms from the website itself. You have to take those forms, a printout of those forms from the website, and the printout should be on the letterhead. So many were having a doubt that whether it has to be on the letterhead. It has to be on the letterhead. I know there might be issue, although the technical team who have developed the website, they are saying that they have appropriately let the margin for the letterhead. So in future only we will see that how many letterheads it is affecting those letterheads wherein it is overlapping the content. So that has to be adhered to. They might change it, or we might have to change our letterheads according to their requirements. So that is one situation we might face issue. But those printouts has to be taken on the letterhead, and that has to be signed and uploaded back. So what benefit this gives you as an individual or a professional is that single flow of information is there. So if you will feel सपोज फॉर एग्जाम्पल एक एग्जाम्पल दे देता हूँ कि आपने अगर वहां पे सोल्ड अनसोल्ड का इन्वेंट्री वहां पे अपलोड किया, ऑल्दो द प्रोसीजर इज आल्सो चेंज फॉर सोल्ड अनसोल्ड, बट इफ यू विल अपलोड दोज इन्वेंट्री इट विल ऑटोमेटिकली गेट रिफ्लेक्टेड इन योर फॉर्म 3. वी विल सी फॉर्म 3 इन डिटेल. हम लोग आगे थोड़ा डिटेल में भी देखेंगे क्या क्या चेंजेस है. बट अगर आपने एक बार एंट्री किया डेटा तो वो आपके फॉर्म्स में ऑटोमेटिकली आ जाएगा. So chances of errors gets reduced. Earlier what used to happen, मैंने वहाँ पे form 3 में एक डेटा दिया है and there is a change in the disclosure. So sold unsold में वहाँ पे अलग डेटा जा रहा है. So ये जो clash हो रहा था, so there were differences between form 3 and form whatever disclosure is uploaded on the web portal. So ये जो differences है वो अभी नहीं रहेगा. And many of them used to face an issue कि अभी multiple clients होते थे हमारे पास, तो क्या होता था कि सेम फॉर्म कॉपी हो जाता था. सो सेम फॉर्म कॉपी हो गया तो कभी प्रोजेक्ट नंबर भूल गए चेंज करना, कभी नाम भूल गए चेंज करना. सो दिस वी हैड आल्सो सजेस्टेड देम कि आप सिस्टम जनरेटेड, बट वी हैड सजेस्टेड देम टू जनरेट इट थ्रू सिस्टम, बट एंटायरली एक्सेप्ट इट थ्रू सिस्टम ओनली. For example, it would have been a digital signature, then it would have been better. But now they have again made certain changes on the system, but again we have to download it, print. So efforts are double, क्योंकि हम लोग को वो फॉर्म तो करना है, उसमें फिगर्स डालने हैं, उसको प्रिंट निकालना है, फिर वापस अपलोड करना है. So they should think of a digital signature like we have in income tax and all. So they should think of such ways also to do it in a better way. But at least those errors will get minimized because the form will be generated from that particular promoter's login only. So उसमें automatically project number, नाम, उसका area, everything will be printed, and you just have to take the printout and you will upload it again. So that's very much of help for us professionals, and it will reduce the errors. So that is one major change on the new website you will observe. So these are the forms I would just like to let you know the names of this form. That is, form 1 is for architect, 2 is for engineer, and 3 is for chartered accountant. So form 1, 2, and 3, this you require at the time of registration, at the time of withdrawals, quarterly, you require this. तो अगर पैसा इन शॉर्ट आप समझो कि बैंक से पैसा निकालना है मुझे, तो ये 3 फॉर्म मुझे सबमिट करना पड़ेगा और ये 3 फॉर्म क्वार्टरली मुझे लेना ही है, ताकि मुझे 2 स्टेटस पता चल सके। एक है फाइनेंशियल स्टेटस और दूसरा है फिजिकल स्टेटस। फिजिकल स्टेटस हम लोगों को फॉर्म 1 से पता चलता है और फाइनेंशियल और फिजिकल स्टेटस बोथ अपने को एक फॉर्म 2 और फॉर्म 3 से पता चलता है। तो ये तीनों फॉर्म अपने को मैंडेटरी है। एंड देन देयर इज वन द 3 अदर फॉर्म्स व्हिच इज फॉर्म 2A which speaks about quality assurance. So form 2A, quality assurance, again issued by an engineer having a license number. Then form 4, it is issued by an architect at the time of completion. At the time of completion मतलब मुझे OC आ गया, मतलब complete नहीं. It after OC, if it is fit for occupancy, all the amenities which are promised has been delivered. Then there is a facility of water supply, electricity, everything is done. Whatever was promised to the buyer, then only architect can issue form 4. So these forms are very much important, and form 5 is an auditor. Or it is an audit of the bank statement, that is the RERA bank account, designated bank account, and that has to be uploaded by a chartered accountant. अभी पहले क्या था कि मैं जब रजिस्टर कर रहा हूँ प्रोजेक्ट, तो वहां पे मुझे चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट का डिटेल्स देना पड़ता था, फिर आर्किटेक्ट का डिटेल्स और इंजीनियर का चार्टर्ड और इंजीनियर का डेटा वहाँ पे कि ईमेल आईडी, मोबाइल नंबर. सो वेरी फ्यू डिटेल्स वर आस्क्ड फॉर. नाउ दे हैव गॉन बियॉन्ड दैट. दे आर आस्किंग फॉर लाइसेंस नंबर, दे आर आस्किंग फॉर मेंबरशिप नंबर ऑफ CA, they are asking for details such as address, then your UD नहीं, email ID, मोबाइल नंबर. सो ये सारे डिटेल्स वहाँ पे वो लोग पूछ रहे हैं. एंड द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग वाज अर्लियर ओनली फॉर्म 3 CA का डिटेल्स वहाँ पे वर मैंडेटरी एट द टाइम ऑफ रजिस्ट्रेशन. क्योंकि हो सकता है ना कि अभी मैंने ऑडिटर फाइनल नहीं किया है, सो ऑडिटर में मुझे साल खत्म होने के बाद वैसे भी 30 सितंबर के पहले ऑडिटर अपॉइंट करना है, तो मैं तभी देखने वाला था. लेकिन अभी रजिस्ट्रेशन के टाइम पे ही they are asking for both the chartered accountants details. Yes, specifically you don't have to align any form to them like we do in income tax. We have acceptance and rejection for the 3CD and all. But यहाँ पे वैसे नहीं है. But both these chartered accountants, one engineer and one architect details are mandatory, which again we have to represent to them that it may be possible that we have not finalized the tax audit, the RERA auditor for the purpose of RERA. So only one chartered accountant should be mandatory at the time of registration, and later on before submission of form 5 one can update that details on the website, because suddenly the people can change, the chartered accountant can be changed at the time of signing. So these are certain things which as a technical team they should understand, and we are also planning to represent in future that how this system should work. सो फॉर्म 1 से लेके ये फॉर्म 5 ये सारे फॉर्म्स होते हैं जहां पे रेरा में हम लोग को इशू करना पड़ता है. Now these are the amendments. These are the amendments taken place till date. That is for in general regulations. In regulations, if you will see, principal regulations 2017 में आए थे जहाँ पे सारे फॉर्म्स के फॉर्मेट आए थे. उसके बाद उन्होंने 2019 में 2 बार अमेंडमेंट किया. उसमें एक में फॉर्म 3 चेंज किया, एक में कुछ इनकर्ड कॉस्ट का डेफिनेशन डाल दिया. सो सर्टेन चेंजेस वर मेड इन दीज रेगुलेशंस. देन अगेन इन 2021 वी हैड कंप्लीट चेंज ऑफ ऑल द फॉर्म्स. फॉर्म 1 से लेके फॉर्म 5 तक सब फॉर्म्स चेंज हो गए. फिर बाद में अभी वापस एक लेटेस्ट अमेंडमेंट है रेगुलेशंस 2024 जो 16 अगस्त 2024 को आया, एंड इन दैट ओनली फॉर्म 2A इज चेंज्ड. सो फॉर्म 2A 3 बार हुआ है. That is first in 2017, the original Form 2A, in 2019, and then 2021 and 2024. So you have to follow the latest form after this amendment date. Before that, we can have a different form. But अभी जो website है, I don't think so it will allow you for the different from. So for 16th August 2024, all the forms which will be issued has to be in the new format. Regulation 4. So this is the amended position currently, that earlier the form 5 was to be signed by a term called as statutory auditor. Now, what is statutory auditor? Statutory auditor means audit required by a statute. Now, here in Companies Act there was confusion that Companies Act का जो statutory auditor है so वही RERA auditor करेगा. So फिर उसको knowledge हो या ना हो जरूरी नहीं है. But it somewhere didn't serve the purpose. So later on they changed this term to annual auditor. So जिनके मन में भी अभी भी doubt है कि मेरा कंपनी है तो कंपनी का statutory auditor ही RERA auditor होना चाहिए क्या? So it is not necessary. You can have a separate auditor for the purpose of signing the form 5, that is your RERA audit. Yeah. Now these tables, form 3 is the first form which we need to understand. And those who have attended my earlier seminars also, there are certain changes here also, because over the period certain things have evolved. So in form 3 also, certain way of representing, it's still many chartered accountants are not able to understand how do we represent this. So it is very important, first we have to know कि कैसे उसको represent करना है जो भी data है, because everything has relevance here and later on we should not face any issue. And this is completely online now. This is completely online. So वहाँ पे tabs है और उसमें एक एक ये जो tables दिया है वो figures वहाँ पे हम लोग को जो cost है, फिर उसका बैंक अकाउंट का जो भी data है, that is your opening, closing, transactions, deposit, withdrawals, so everything figures needs to be inserted on the portal. So ये portal पे insert करके फिर बाद में हम लोग को उसका print निकालना है. So here there is a subject clause certifying financial progress. So we are certifying financial progress. So restrict your role to the financial progress of the work. So that is very much important, that you should not go beyond that, because as per section 11 of the RERA Act, you are only certifying the financial progress, whatever is required. So how the progress of the project is in a financial books of accounts, how it is moving forward, that you have to show to RERA. Issued for RERA compliance, these are the important highlighted words which you will get to know into the certificate. आप certificate में अगर ध्यान से देखोगे तो ये words आपको दिखेंगे that this certificate is issued for RERA compliance, and they have introduced 7 tables. So these 7 tables are very much important because they ask information in detail. Then what we are certifying, first of all, understand the purpose that what we are certifying. We are certifying here the deposit and utilization for land and construction cost. तो हम लोग ने एक तो cost है उसको फिर हम लोग ने कस्टमर से कितना पैसा लिया एंड उसको कैसे यूटिलाइज किया, whether we have utilized for land and construction cost only, तो वो अपने को सर्टिफाई वहां पे करना है या फिर उसने अदर पर्पस के लिए वो यूटिलाइज किया, एंड दिस हैज टू बी काउंटर साइंड बाय द प्रमोटर. So now also the same thing remains, and please, I have seen on the website that many form 3s were not uploaded properly, in that promoter's signature was not there. So यहाँ पे क्या होगा कि अगर promoter is not accepting that, so you have uploaded without his consent. So that can be an interpretation which should not be, which is not a proper way of doing this compliance. So share the draft of the form 3 with the promoter. Give him some time to understand whatever observations you have written in this form, how you have arrived the cost, and if he agrees, then he will sign the. If he agrees to the draft, then you share the final. You sign it, and he will accept the form. Then it becomes a proper document because he has accepted whatever you have, whatever queries you have raised or whatever observations you have given. Now coming to table A. So coming to table A, separate table for estimated cost is there. Estimates are bound to change. The procedure remains the same. Only everything is online. You have to change application for correction. अगर estimates change हुआ तो वहाँ पे एक table A है जो सिर्फ estimates के बारे में बात करता है. And अगर वो change हुआ तो then we have to issue the form 3 with revised figures, and then accordingly the promoter has to intimate those revised figures to them, unless and until now the issue will be once we submit the estimated cost there, so it won't allow me to change it unless and until I am proposing an application for change. अगर मैं application for change करूंगा तो फिर वहां पे estimated cost change हो जाएगा, and then I can take the revised printout of the form 3. तो यहाँ पे ये जो है ये important है कि ये procedure जो फॉलो करना, पहले क्या होता था कि फॉर्म 3 मुझे सबमिट करना पड़ता था and then they used to allow me estimated for change, but now since the figures are mentioned online and it will automatically be reflected in our form 3, so then first it has to be applied for correction, applied for change, and if they ask for a form 3 signed physical form 3, that has to be uploaded, and then they will allow you to generate a proper form 3 on the portal with the revised estimated figures. So this is very preliminary talk on this, how the estimated cost will be reflected. But here the estimated cost needs to be revised on the portal at any point of time. See to it that your form 3 estimated cost and the portal estimated cost always matches. At the time of registration, this has to be submitted. It is bound to change, and estimated cost by engineer needs to be mentioned. Many times I have seen that engineer's form 3 is issued after if form 2 is issued after form 3. How can the date be after the date of signing of form 3? It is not possible, because this form 1 and form 2 should be issued first, and then you have to issue the form 3, because here estimated cost of construction only, other than the development cost, only the construction cost has to be certified by the engineer. So that needs to be mentioned in the form 3, that you have arrived at this estimated cost of construction from the form 2. If there are any additional items, I have seen in the form 3 now, they have given a place for additional items also. So accordingly, that can also be filled in there. If you have form 2 and he has given that there are additional items on which cost we are estimating certain costs, so that can be taken as a part of the estimated cost. फिर pass through charges or indirect tax excluded. Now the bank account, after the bank account regulations have come into picture, here the pass through charges and indirect tax needs to be properly accounted for through a separate account. That would be better for most of the developers, because otherwise, if you will deposit this pass through charges in the RERA bank account, then automatically it will get divided into 70-30. And if it is a revenue sharing arrangement, then it will first go to a master account, then it will get further divided into individual shares of the promoters, and then in their collection and transaction and master account. So this is it will create a different change, and the pass-through charges will go through lots of accounts. So it is better, please have a separate account for indirect taxes, pass-through charges, and do not mix it with the RERA designated account. And it can be this table can be revised through correction application. Here many of them take actual cost of the machineries. In this form, table A considers the absorb cost. Absorb cost, table A and B. So you have to estimate कि कितना cost लगने वाला है. समझो मैंने मशीनरी रेंट पे लिया है, तो मेरा एक एस्टिमेट है कि मुझे ये प्रोजेक्ट के लिए इतना रेंट देना पड़ेगा, या मैंने परचेस किया है तो मेरा मशीनरी का एक मुझे वहाँ पे एक समझो प्रोजेक्ट एरिया, कंस्ट्रक्शन एरिया के हिसाब से, या फिर उस मशीन कितने टाइम वहाँ पे रहने वाला है, तो एक मुझे बेस लेके उसको डिवाइड करना पड़ेगा. And I need to take only that observed cost, so it will not have a duplication impact. and it will be mutually exclusive. तो हर प्रोजेक्ट में वही सेम कॉस्ट नहीं जाएगा, सिर्फ एब्जॉर्ब कॉस्ट ही जाएगा. जो पहले फॉर्म में वहां पे एक्चुअल कॉस्ट ऑफ मशीनरीज यूज होता था, उन्होंने वो चेंज करके फिर एब्जॉर्ब कॉस्ट ऑफ मशीनरीज वहां पे मेंशन किया है. So this is all about your table A. Then we have table B. In table B, it is replica of the table A. That is whatever is estimate. There you will have the actual cost with respect to the estimate figures, and it will go on increasing quarterly जैसे जैसे actual cost खर्चा होगा. और actual cost में इन्होंने incurred cost का regulations में already definitions regulation 2 में definitions दिया है कि incurred cost is where you have assumed the liability, your liability is liability towards the product or service has already been incurred. That means a bill has been raised by the creditor, and or you have paid and you have received the services, not advance. You cannot take advance value in the cost of incurred cost. You only have to take whatever is actually received as a product or service, or you might have got the invoice. That is, your liability has increased in terms of the product or service. Then only you can take that as an actual cost of construction. So this is the actual value. Pass-through charges also here also excluded. Absorb cost of machinery needs to be mentioned. So this is entirely about table B. And here the most important change is you have to compare. आपको compare करना है cost of construction by engineer and cost of construction by CA. That is the actual cost. कि CA ने अगर books में देखा and if he gets to know that the cost incurred is around 80 rupees and engineer ने बोला कि वहां पे 60 rupees का वर्क मटेरियल यूज, तो whichever is lower I have to take it as a cost of construction. ओके सो अगर इंजीनियर का हायर रह सकता है, मे बी इंजीनियर का हायर रह सकता है, कभी कभी हम लोग कॉन्ट्रैक्टर को एडवांस देते हैं, द बिल्स आर नॉट बीन इशूड, सो इन दैट केस वहां पे काम तो हुआ रहेगा एंड यहाँ पे मैंने उसको एडवांस दिया है, मैंने बिल बुक नहीं किया है, तो वो कॉस्ट हायर हो सकता है. तो अपने को विच एवर इज लोअर दैट नीड्स टू बी टेकन इन द टेबल बी. Then there is table C. Now this table has gone through a lot of change in terms of new website, because here now we have to upload an Excel. Okay, there is a macros enabled Excel wherein the inventory needs to be added in that particular Excel, and that Excel needs to be validated, and validate करने के बाद वो website Excel वहाँ पे upload करना है, and जो भी upload करोगे sold unsold में, तो वो ऑटोमेटिकली आपके फॉर्म 3 में रिफ्लेक्ट होगा. अर्लियर व्हाट यू यूज्ड टू डू, फॉर्म 3 में भी लिखो, डिस्क्लोजर अलग सोल्ड अनसोल्ड का दो, तो इसमें मिसमैच होने का चांसेस होता है, बिकॉज फॉर्म 3 का आप फॉर्मेट देखोगे तो नीचे लिखा है दैट एनी पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम इट शुड ऑलवेज मैच विद द फॉर्म 3 एंड द डिस्क्लोजर अनसोल्ड, सोल्ड अनसोल्ड, ये दोनों चीज मैच होना चाहिए. तो इसके लिए ये नहीं होता था, बहुत बार यहाँ पे वो अलग डेटा दे देता, वहां पे अलग देता था. So now they have aligned it, and yes, the Excel macros enabled Excel is still you can say not convenient, because वहाँ पे rows add करने हैं, you cannot, some certain things are restricted, so उसके वजह से अगर large data होगा तो then you might face issue in case of generating that Excel and uploading it. But still, I would say that over the period, they might come with different versions of those macros enabled Excel, and it will be a smoother, more smooth, and you will get it reflected on the website. But it's better that sold unsold, we have to fetch that information at one point only, and it will get displayed in at multiple places in form 3 also. So at any point of time, the data won't be the data will be proper, so it will display in a proper manner, and form 3 and disclosure sold unsold will always match. So that is the point wherein the new website plays an important role in dealing with this table C. Here you have to disclose receivables, sold and unsold. Sold will be the agreement value or on the basis of the letter of allotment, and unsold will always be on the basis of ready reckoner value. and no one is judging your project at the start of the project basis of whether it is a loss making or it is a profit making. This table and this entire form 3 will gain importance when you will issue the form 3 over the period of time. So if there is a substantial sale in that project, then only it will get importance that कितना उसमें अभी प्रमोटर को खुद का फंड्स डालना पड़ रहा है, कितना वहां से कस्टमर्स का सेल्स है, तब जाके वो एनालिसिस कर सकते हैं. स्टार्ट ऑफ द प्रोजेक्ट में नो वन इज जजिंग द प्रोजेक्ट कि एवरीवन इज अज्यूमिंग दैट दिस प्रोजेक्ट द प्रमोटर इज हैविंग एन इंटेंशन to complete this project. So what may resources he have, he will complete the project. Moving forward, the comparison between the balance cost and receivables. This table D deals with the balance cost. What is the balance cost of receivables? मतलब table A और table B जो है estimate और अपना actual cost. तो estimate minus actual करोगे तो आपको बैलेंस कॉस्ट कितना बचा है प्रोजेक्ट कंप्लीट करने के लिए वो मिल जाएगा. फिर बैलेंस अमाउंट ऑफ रिसीवेबल्स, अपना जो टेबल सी है वहां से सोल्ड का जो मैंने एग्रीमेंट वैल्यू लिखा, उसके सामने कितना पैसा आया लिखा, एंड बैलेंस जो बचा है वो वहां पे आएगा कि सोल्ड हमने किए है तो उसके सामने मेरा कितना पैसा आना बाकी है, वो फिगर मिल जाएगा. फिर एस्टिमेटेड अनसोल्ड जो बचा हुआ इन्वेंट्री है एट एनी पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम, जितना सेल हुआ है टोटल इन्वेंट्री में से माइनस करके जो बचा हुआ है वो यहाँ पे आएगा. एंड एस्टिमेटेड रिसीवेबल्स, ऑब्वियसली मेरा सोल्ड का बैलेंस प्लस मेरा अनसोल्ड का टोटल, ये दोनों मिलाएंगे तो हमारा एस्टिमेटेड रिसीवेबल्स आएगा. एंड 70% एंड 100%, whether it has to be deposited 70% or 100%, it is to be checked only for ongoing project. Ongoing projects मतलब जो projects प्री रेरा स्टार्ट हुए थे उनके लिए. फॉर नाउ ऑल द न्यू प्रोजेक्ट्स इट इज ऑलवेज 70% ओनली. सो एस्टिमेटेड बैलेंस कॉस्ट टू कंप्लीट, बैलेंस अमाउंट ऑफ रिसीवेबल्स. दिस कंपैरेटिव टेबल ऑल्सो प्लेज एन इंपॉर्टेंट रोल, जो सब लोग इग्नोर करते हैं. ये टेबल को इंपॉर्टेंस देते नहीं है बिकॉज इस टेबल के वजह से आपका टेबल एफ जो मीन्स ऑफ फाइनेंस है उसमें भी इफेक्ट आता है. सो ये टेबल सबसे ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है. ओके जो क्या इफेक्ट है वो मैं आपको टेबल एफ के टाइम पे समझाऊंगा. आई विल टेक ऑल योर क्वेरीज. जो भी चैट में अगर कुछ क्वेरीज आएंगे तो आई विल टेक ऑल योर क्वेरीज. आई विल गिव हाफ एन आवर टाइम फॉर अटेंडिंग ऑल योर क्वेरीज इन दिस पर्टिकुलर session. Okay, now moving forward, this is table E. Table E, designated bank account details. Your designated bank account details में from actual till date, so it will always be a cumulative figure. Your opening balance, deposits, withdrawals and closing balance. So this will always be your figures from the start. मतलब आज अगर मैंने फॉर्म 3 साइन किया तो आज के तारीख तक मेरा क्यूमुलेटिव जब से प्रोजेक्ट स्टार्ट हुआ है तब से इसका डिटेल्स आएगा. अभी इसमें कैसे है कि नए फॉर्मेट, नया जो सिस्टम है उसमें इसको अल्टर नहीं कर सकते, उसमें फिगर ही डालना है, राइट. सो इसमें अगर आप फिगर डालोगे, समझो बहुत बार क्या होता है कि प्रमोटर्स दूसरे अमाउंट्स भी ले लेते हैं, तो फिर वो सारी चीजें आपको, हम लोग क्या करते थे कि उसमें एक रिकन्सिलिएशन देते थे, या फिर ऐसे कि हाँ मेरा डिपॉजिट 100 रुपीज है पर 100 रुपीज में एक्चुअल मेरा कस्टमर से सिर्फ 70 रुपया आया है, तो फिर मुझे बताना कि ये 30 रुपीज अदर उसने पास थ्रू चार्जेस ले लिए गलती से. तो ये सारे फिगर्स हैं, बट अभी इसको हम लोग चेंज नहीं कर सकते क्योंकि ऑनलाइन ही जनरेट करना है. तो फिर ऑब्जर्वेशंस में वो चीजें मेंशन करनी पड़ेंगी because there is no that field cannot be altered. So that is one issue we might face. Either you restrict the promoter की तू वहाँ पे agreement value के अलावा कुछ लेना ही मत, so it will be beneficial for you, or else you can, if you are just 1 minute. So कुछ भी लेना मत, so that will be beneficial for the professional also and promoter to maintain the accounts. Otherwise, if he is going on accepting some different amounts, then this will be have a different impact, and ये matching करने के लिए भी वहाँ पे differences आ सकते हैं. Now coming to table F, means of finance. So in table F, you will see here that I have presented it what needs to be mentioned in this particular means of finance. So let's understand, थोड़ा detail में understand करते हैं कि means of finance में own funds at the time of estimated, at the time of registration, proposed and indicative. So estimated figures and the proposed estimated figures and the actual figures. So these details we need to understand कि कैसे हम लोग को मेंशन करना है. तो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड कि ये जो ओन फंड्स एंड द बोरोड फंड्स प्लस कस्टमर रिसीट्स इज ऑल द मनी विच यू हैव. Okay, this is the total money flow which will be there. Either it will be from own funds or the borrowed funds from a secured lending or unsecured lending, just friends and relatives or any other wherein there is no security given, and customer receipts, that is from the agreements, whatever is happening, sale, whatever is happening, from those funds you will have the funds and that will be utilized to meet the estimated cost. So this is the simple purpose of this particular table. Now your first of all you have to present at the time of registration that I'm giving a positive picture here that I will have own funds from my own funds will be this much, my borrowed funds estimated. It is not necessary you give it, but मैं वो project जो मैं cost assume कर रहा हूँ, समझो 100 करोड़ में मेरा cost assume कर रहा हूँ, तो ये 100 करोड़ में से मुझे कस्टमर रिसीट्स टेबल सी से आएंगे और कस्टमर रिसीट्स जो है फिलहाल तो मेरा अनसोल्ड एट द टाइम ऑफ रजिस्ट्रेशन मेरा अनसोल्ड ही रहेगा, तो अनसेल्ड का रेडी रेकनर वैल्यू रहेगा. तो जो रेडी रेकनर है वो रेडी रेकनर मेरा लीस्ट पॉसिबल फिगर है. दैट इज द लीस्ट पॉसिबल फिगर इफ आई रजिस्टर्ड एट द लीस्ट पॉसिबल एएसआर वैल्यू ऑल्सो. समझो मेरा कोई भी इन्वेंट्रीज बिक नहीं पाया तो भी फिर मैं और मैंने एकदम रेडी रेकनर पे बेच पाया, दैट इज द लीस्ट पॉसिबल फिगर. देन ऑल्सो हाउ आई एम टेलिंग दैट 100 करोड़ है मेरे पास, मेरा कॉस्ट है, तो मेरे पास समझो एएसआर वैल्यू 20 करोड़ है, तो बाकी का 80 करोड़ मैं कैसे मैनेज करूंगा. ऐसा जरूरी नहीं कि वो मार्केट में गया प्रोजेक्ट और उसका डे 1 से सेलिंग चालू हुआ, राइट. सो अगर मनी फ्लो नहीं हुआ तो फिर मैं ओन फंड्स कितना प्रेडिक्ट कर रहा हूँ, मैं बोरोड फंड्स कितना ले सकता हूँ एंड अनसेक्योर्ड, ये मुझे पहले टेबल में देना है. फिर दूसरे टेबल में बहुत जन क्या करते हैं, ये पहले टेबल को ही बार बार कॉपी करते हैं. सी इट इज नॉट like that. There is a different purpose of this particular column. First is you are predicting at the time of registration, and second time when you are into this column, तो यहाँ पे own funds है, borrowed funds है, ये तो तुम्हारा estimate बदलेगा किस हिसाब से. Okay, so at the time of registration also, suppose मैंने estimate किया है 100 करोड़, ठीक है, और 100 करोड़ में से मेरा प्रीमियम्स जो रजिस्ट्रेशन का परमिशन लाने में टाइम जाता है, वो सारे चीज़ों में कुछ ना कुछ तो मैंने एक्टिविटी किया होगा वहाँ पे, उसका भी तो खर्चा है. समझो मेरा 2 करोड़ रुपए खर्च हुआ है एट द टाइम ऑफ रजिस्ट्रेशन ऑफ द प्रोजेक्ट, तो 100 में से 2 करोड़ खर्च हुआ है. तो अभी मेरा प्रपोज्ड एस्टिमेटेड कितना बचा, मेरा प्रपोज्ड एस्टिमेटेड बचा 98 CR एंड नॉट 100 CR, इवन दो आई एम एट द रजिस्ट्रेशन स्टेज. See, I am estimating that 100 CR है, बट मेरा एक्चुअल कॉस्ट 2 करोड़ खर्चा हो गया है, तो अभी मैं सर्टिफिकेट वही टाइम पे दे रहा हूँ, तो मेरा 98 CR नीचे आना चाहिए टोटल एस्टिमेटेड कॉस्ट विच आई विल गेट फ्रॉम टेबल डी, दैट इज योर बैलेंस कॉस्ट, राइट. सो एवरी क्वार्टर यू विल हैव दिस टेबल फ्लक्चुएटिंग कि आज मैं सर्टिफिकेट इशू कर रहा हूँ, तो आज के बाद मेरा एस्टिमेटेड कितना बचा है, दैट नीड्स टू बी. So it is simple. Your this column will be यहाँ पे जो estimated cost का टेबल A मैंने लिखा है, फिर यहाँ पे टेबल B. One minute. We'll use a pointer. Okay. So यहाँ पे टेबल A लिखा है, right? And टेबल D and टेबल B. So your table A minus table B figure is your table D. That is your estimated minus actual is your balance cost. That is, this is how you have to represent. Okay, so every base you will get in this certificate only. Till now what people were doing, table A, table A. यहाँ पे दोनों same figure. तो दो दो column क्यों देंगे हम? So you can see the difference also, no? At the time of registration, which will be fixed. At the time of estimate, it will change. At the time of certificate, it will change. So table A minus table D, B is your table D. Okay. And one more change similarly here also at row number 4. That is table C में से आपका estimate आएगा. फिर balance receivables table D में से आएगा. Okay. And table B and C से आपका actual position आएगा. So आपके पास बैलेंस रिसीवेबल जो भी है, प्रपोज एस्टिमेटेड जो भी एग्रीमेंट हुआ है, वो आपका टेबल डी में से आएगा बैलेंस रिसीवेबल, एंड टेबल बी और सी में से आपका यहाँ पे एक्चुअल आएगा, जो आपका अमाउंट कितना विड्रॉ हुआ है, जो अपने को टेबल बी में दिखता है कि नेट अमाउंट विच कैन बी ऑलरेडी विड्रॉन फ्रॉम द बैंक, एंड योर सी मतलब कितना रिसीव्ड हुआ है. तो मैंने समझो 100 रुपये रिसीव किया, लेकिन मैंने विड्रॉ अभी तक 50 रुपया ही किया. तो what is the actual usage for the project? That is 50 rupees. So that we have to check, compare, and we have to give. कितना actual में use हुआ है. Yes, you are always accountable for the actual figure. But this is how it is. You have to judge कि ये project completion इसका में stage में क्या चल रहा है. इसका project में means of finance कैसे है, finance आगे है क्या, उसका sale हो रहा है कि नहीं, वो कैसे manage करेगा वो cost. And your टोटल फंड्स और टोटल एस्टिमेटेड टोटल एक्चुअल कॉस्ट जो है यहाँ पे आपको दिख रहा है, तो ये भी लोग टैली करके रख देते हैं. जस्ट टेल मी इफ यू आर टेकिंग इंकर्ड कॉस्ट, दैट इज द एक्चुअल कॉस्ट एज पर पीएनएल. ऑब्वियसली पीएनएल में इसका ही फिगर आता है, तो वो कॉस्ट प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस में से आप लोगे, एंड यू आर यूजिंग द प्रोजेक्ट यूजिंग द अमाउंट विच इज एक्चुअली पेड. सो can anyone tell me in the chats what will be the difference? Where can I see the difference in the balance sheet? Where can I see the difference? I have an invoice of 50 rupees, okay, and I have taken that as an actual cost, and but I have utilized or actual withdrawn from the bank only 40 rupees I have paid. So where will the balance 10 rupees will reflect in balance sheet? Can anyone mention in the chats? I can't see anything in the chats. I think so. It is recorded in Q&A or I don't know. So we can discuss, but I will tell you directly that the difference will be in your creditors. Okay. So at any point of time, you cannot say that 100% amount is utilized. Okay. Because आपने bills लिए है, आपने cost लिया, लेकिन आपने pay actually में कितना किया, तो बचा हुआ creditors में कोई भी builder कभी भी 100% amount नहीं pay करता है. So that is very much important to understand that this will be always in your creditors. So this difference, total funds for the project and total estimated cost, total actual cost का जो difference है, वो आपका creditors में reflect होता है. You never pay 100% of the cost. One is an incurred cost, accrual basis, and one is your actual payment. So the difference will always be in your creditors. So this was a small gist of the means of finance. Then there is table G, any comments or observations of CA. Here you will get any exceptions in land cost. जो भी comments है, अभी आप वहाँ पे line by line add कर सकते हो on the new portal. You have to give proper observations. You can go on adding the row in the form, and you can add कि कोई भी discrepancy आपको observe किया वो form में with respect to that project. So whatever observation or any conclusion you derive, you have to write those. And I've given you sample observations can be related to this: land cost, construction cost, bank account operations, sold and unsold inventory, pass-through charges, indirect taxes, deposit and utilization of customer receipts, other exceptions related to projects. So everything can be dealt with this in table G. This is the most important table. Here you should have any comments or observations. Now form 5. See, all the data, if you will properly have throughout the year, there will be 4 quarters, so 4 forms will be there. And if it will increase, if the withdrawal is too fast and the limit is getting exhausted, so then there will be in between issuance of the form 3 also. But in general, there will be 4 quarters, form 3 in a year. So if the correct information is mentioned in the form 3, then in form 5, it will match that whatever deposit is mentioned, whatever withdrawal limit is mentioned, all the withdrawals and deposit is as per the form 3 within the limit that is certifying by the form 5. So form 5 certifies deposits, utilization and withdrawal. These 3 aspects are being dealt by form 5 auditor, and he has to be independent chartered accountant. Please note, same chartered accountant firm, same person cannot sign both the forms. Form 3 and Form 5 has to be issued by 2 different entities, 2 different persons. They're completely, the form numbers should be different. That is very much required while signing the Form 3 and Form 5. Form 4 tables and 2 subtables introduced in this particular Form 5. There is a shortfall deposit amount to be provided. Agar as per law kitna hai, 70% needs to be deposited. If I am not depositing 70%, I am depositing lesser amount, then it is a shortfall deposit that needs to be reported. And date-wise details of excess withdrawals also to be provided. तो एक हो सकता है कि आपका डिपॉजिट शॉर्टफॉल है, वो पहले दे दो, एंड एक्सेस विड्रॉवल्स है, वो आपको वहां पे देना पड़ेगा. एक्सेस विड्रॉवल्स मतलब क्या? जो विड्रॉवल्स फॉर्म 3 में जो लिमिट दिया हुआ है कि इतने अमाउंट तक उसको पैसा निकालने के लिए परमिशन है. सी यू गिव देम एक्चुअल कॉस्ट, उसमें से माइनस करना है कि कितना अमाउंट उसने बैंक से विड्रॉ किया. तो मैंने समझो उसको लिमिट दिया था, उसने कॉस्ट इंकर किया है 100 रुपीज एंड उसने विड्रॉ किया बैंक से 60 रुपीज, राइट. तो अभी बैलेंस कितना विड्रॉवल है? 40 रुपया. तो ऐसे अभी समझो मार्च तक ये चलता रहा और मार्च में उसका विड्रॉवल लिमिट था इतना. तो इधर तक क्या उसने एवरी फॉर्म 3 में विड्रॉवल जो भी किए हैं वो विद इन द लिमिट किए हैं कि नहीं, वो वहां पे इंपॉर्टेंट है. एंड नाउ पहले क्या था, बैंक्स को ये मॉनिटरिंग का मैकेनिज्म नहीं पता था. सो बैंक्स वर फ्रीली अलाउइंग, कोई बैंक पूछता था फॉर्म 3 नहीं. अभी सारे पब्लिक सेक्टर बैंक्स जो भी सेकेंड शेड्यूल ऑफ आरबीआई में कवर्ड है, उन सबको RERA ने भी प्रॉपर वो रेगुलेशंस उनको भेजा हुआ है, एंड दे हैव बीन एडवाइज्ड टू फॉलो दोज रेगुलेशंस प्रॉपरली. So they will ask for these forms while withdrawals, form 1, 2 and 3. तो ये सारा form 5 has the authority to comment on form 1, 2 and 3. Any discrepancies he observes in form 1, 2 and 3. So form 5 having this authority to comment on those discrepancies. Okay, तो ये भी अभी ऑनलाइन जनरेट करना है दिस फॉर्म ऑल्सो. एंड यहाँ पे जो भी आप विड्रॉवल्स और ये जो अमाउंट मेंशन करोगे दैट विल फेच इन द फॉर्म 5 ऑल्सो. सो दैट नीड्स टू बी प्रॉपरली इंटीमेटेड एंड प्रॉपरली मेंशन इन फॉर्म 3 ऑल्सो कि ये फ्लो प्रॉपर हो, बिकॉज नाउ मोस्टली द थिंग्स विल बी टेक्निकल. वहाँ पे ऑनलाइन है तो वहाँ पे कंट्रोल अपने को जो एक एडिट और इसका ऑप्शन रहता था वो अभी वहाँ पे अगर हम लोग ने एडिट किया, so there it will give a difference and we have to explain the difference also. This is the table A, deposits given in the form 5. यहाँ पे there is a cumulative figure and also the figure for that particular year. तो आपने को एक है प्रोजेक्ट का पूरा साल का वहाँ पे क्यूमुलेटिव डेटा एनालिसिस देना है एंड सिर्फ ड्यूरिंग द ईयर का डेटा एनालिसिस देना है. उससे पता चलेगा कि कितना पैसा कलेक्ट किया, कितना एक्ट के हिसाब से डिपॉजिट करना था, कितना एक्चुअली में डिपॉजिट हुआ है, वो शॉर्टफॉल या एक्सेस है तो कोई इशू नहीं है, बट शॉर्टफॉल है देन ही माइट बी लाइबल for a penalty that can go up to 5% of the estimated cost of the project. So anything can happen, उसको penalty लगा सकते हैं. तो पहले रेरा के पास फिगर्स जो थे वो ऑन पेपर थे, ओके, पीडीएफ स्कैन करना पॉसिबल नहीं था और ये सारे टेबल्स ऑनलाइन नहीं थे, इसके लिए सिस्टम एनालिसिस करना भी डिफिकल्ट था. नाउ दिस फिगर्स विल बी ऑनलाइन. सो ये फिगर्स ऑनलाइन है तो वो लोग डेटा एनालिसिस आराम से कर सकते हैं कि ये प्रोजेक्ट डिफॉल्ट होने वाला है या उसमें कैसे है, फंडिंग प्रॉपर दिख रहा है कि नहीं है, एंड स्लो मूविंग टारगेट कर सकते हैं. ये सारा अभी एक्टिविटी हो सकता है. सो दिस फिगर्स दे हैव अभी ये न्यू वेबसाइट की वजह से सारे फॉर्म्स का फिगर्स कंपैरिजन इज वेरी इजी फॉर देम. टेबल बी, डिपॉजिट्स के बाद टेबल बी दैट इज विड्रॉवल्स, कितना ओपनिंग है, कितना डिपॉजिट्स है, कितना अमाउंट है विड्रॉन ड्यूरिंग द ईयर एंड क्यूमुलेटिव फ्रॉम द स्टार्ट टिल द signing of the form 5. Okay. Then there is table D. Any comments or observations of CA exception related to deposit, utilization and withdrawals? Any discrepancy आपको अगर दिखाई दे फॉर्म 1, 2 and 3 एज अ चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट, अगर कोई भी डिस्क्रिपेंसी ये रिलेटेड फॉर्म्स में अगर दिखाई दे तो वो यहाँ पे ट्रेस कर सकते, मतलब वहाँ पे ये कमेंट फॉर्म 5 कर सकता है कि अगर फॉर्म 5 में कुछ दिख रहा है कि इट इज नॉट इन लाइन विद द प्रोजेक्ट प्रोग्रेस as on 31st March, so that everything can be tackled here and that can be given as an observation or inference in the table D. So ये observation और comments बहुत ज़्यादा important है क्योंकि ये public को दिखेंगे. Form 5 is visible to public, so ये Form 5 दिखने के बाद इसमें कोई भी discrepancies है तो वो वहाँ पे उनको दिखाई देंगे पब्लिक को, एंड आप जो भी कमेंट्स कर रहे हो वो उनको वहाँ पे QR कोड स्कैन करने के बाद रिफ्लेक्ट होगा. नाउ फॉर्म 1, सी फॉर्म 1 ये तुम अगर मुझे कोई पूछे कि ये क्या हम लोग को डिटेल में जानने का जरूरत है, तो डिटेल नहीं बट एटलीस्ट इंफॉर्मेशन, बिकॉज क्या है ना, जब भी स्लो मूविंग प्रोग्रेस का एक वहाँ पे नोटिस आता है तो उसमें वो लोग कंपेयर करते हैं फॉर्म 1, 2 and 3, राइट. What is the engineer, as per the engineer कितना परसेंटेज कंप्लीट हुआ, as per architect कितना कंप्लीट हुआ, and as per CA कितना कंप्लीट हुआ. So that is given in form 3 and form 1 में भी यहाँ पे वो डिटेल्स मेंशन है और ये भी वहाँ पे ऑनलाइन करना है. So all these details need to be filled online. So your plot details जो भी और सब्जेक्ट क्लॉज है वो ऑटोमेटिकली प्रिंट होगा सर्टिफिकेट में. फिर सर्टिफिकेट पूरे लेआउट के लिए इशू करना है. इज दिस हैज टू बी एज पर द प्रॉपर जो भी वहाँ पे रजिस्टर किया है उस हिसाब से फॉर्म 1 देना है. एंड यहाँ पे बेसमेंट्स, पोडियम्स, प्लिंथ, इसका जो भी डिटेल्स था पहले वो डिलीट किया था, लेकिन अभी जो भी आपको ऑनलाइन दिख रहा है एज पर द आर्किटेक्ट के रिलेटेड जो फील्ड्स हैं जैसे कॉमन एरियाज या उसका परसेंटेज कितना है, जो हम लोग पहले फिल करते थे वो अभी अलाइन कर दिए. तो अभी वो ऑटोमेटिकली आर्किटेक्ट और वेबसाइट ये मैच करेगा हमेशा, क्योंकि एक बार आपने डिटेल्स यहाँ पे फिल कर दिए तो ऑटोमेटिकली वो वहाँ पे डिस्प्ले होना चालू हो जाएगा. पहले क्या करते थे अपन, मल्टीपल टाइम्स मेंशन करते थे, पोर्टल पे अलग से डालो, आर्किटेक्ट के सर्टिफिकेट में अलग से मेंशन करो. अभी क्या है, पोर्टल पे डाल दिया ऑटोमेटिकली आर्किटेक्ट के सर्टिफिकेट में वो आ गया. सो दिस इज मेजर change in form 1. Form 2 also, form 2 will give you the estimated cost of construction and the actual cost of construction. That is very much important and that will automatically come into your form 3. So there is a provision of saving the draft forms, downloading the draft forms, discussing it, editing the fields again till the time you have the final payment done. for registration. All the forms are editable. Every field is editable. Then in form 2, you will get actual cost incurred to be on the basis of input material or services used. See, most of the engineers don't maintain this form 2 properly. They don't have their working. But now they should also understand that they need to have proper working, and it is not only should be on the basis of form 3, and they have to prove how they have arrived at the cost. So your responsibility is using the work of auditors expert. So यहाँ पे आप वो जो figure है वो अगर ज़्यादा variation है, so then you also need to be cautious कि why there is a variation. कि engineer is saying some जो 50 rupees and I am saying 30 rupees. So why there is difference in this construction cost, that you need to understand. So actual cost में आप लोग को ये जानना जरूरी है कि क्या डिफरेंशिएशन है कि इंजीनियर ने इतना कॉस्ट पकड़ा है और मेरा बुक्स में इतना कॉस्ट आ रहा है. वो एक बार आप समझ लो, उसको डॉक्यूमेंट करो प्रॉपरली, मैनेजमेंट एडिटर में ले लो, तो फिर यू विल ऑल्सो बी सेफ, बिकॉज नाउ यू हैव सीन with respect to SA 600 in case of the listed companies recently also. So we have also come how much it is relevant to understand that when someone is, you are relying or you are using someone's certificate, then you should have a proper answer also why there is a difference. कि इतना कॉस्ट आ रहा है उसका और मैंने लोअर लिया है, बट वो हायर क्यों पकड़ रहा है फिर, कि उसको साइड पे ऐसा क्या दिख रहा है कि some materials he has used, whether there is an advance payment, like I said कि कॉन्ट्रैक्टर को मैंने पैसा दे दिया, कॉन्ट्रैक्टर ने काम कर दिया लेकिन बिल रेज नहीं किया, तो वो केस में जेन्युइन रीजन है कि वहां पे काम ज्यादा हुआ है, उस कॉस्ट ज्यादा इंकर हुआ है, लेकिन बुक में वो कॉस्ट डॉक्यूमेंट नहीं हुई. So this has to be taken care in form 2. Quality assurance, this is the new format issued, and this new format targets all the aspects of section number 14. अगर आप रेरा एक्ट का सेक्शन नंबर 14 पढ़ोगे तो उसमें वर्कमैनशिप क्वालिटी, योर कंस्ट्रक्शन क्वालिटी, एवरीथिंग एस्पेक्ट्स आर डेल्ट विद. सो पहले फॉर्म्स में वो मिसिंग था, अभी उन्होंने वो पर्टिकुलर उसको क्वेश्चनर फॉर्मेट में ही फॉर्म 2A दिया हुआ है. तो उसमें स्ट्रक्चरल डिजाइन के बारे में, स्टेबिलिटी टेस्टिंग एंड इनपुट मटेरियल्स कौन से यूज हुए हैं, वो इंडस्ट्री स्टैंडर्ड के है क्या, पानी जो यूज होता है, वाटर यूज होता है कंस्ट्रक्शन में, वो प्रॉपर क्वालिटी का है क्या, फिर वर्कमैनशिप में उसका क्या कैसे वहाँ पे क्वालिटी है, इंडस्ट्री स्टैंडर्ड के हिसाब से बना है क्या, तो उन्होंने फायर टेस्टिंग किया है क्या. सो दीज क्वेश्चंस फिर मिसलेनियस क्वेश्चंस है. So yes, no, their reasons, remarks, such is the format of Form 2A. So Form 2A जो भी issue कर रहा है engineer, he needs to be very cautious in this respect. And you also have to check this Form 2A because यहाँ पे आपको दिख रहा है कि इसमें कुछ we can advise as a practice area, we can advise our developers that certain things are not as per the standards if it is written. See, reading is you simply reading the form 2A, it won't take much time because you have to understand कि इसमें कुछ आपको litigations आने का chances है. That is the way you can advise the promoter that here if he is saying that material is not proper or something, then it will add a base to the litigation. And if he is saying that workmanship quality is proper and subsequently there is a leakage in within 5 years, then the engineer might also face an issue. ये क्यों आया, why the workmanship quality is affected if you are saying that everything has been done properly. So such is now the promoter has to be cautious with respect to section 14. So this is properly dealing with those post completion compliances. And ये फॉर्म साल में एक ही बार देना है. Due date is 30th June. By 30th June of the next year, we have to submit for the previous year. Form 4. Now what procedure is Form 4 they were following is, once you upload the Form 4, they will verify it with the OC and everything. And if it is accepted, it will display in the public view and email will be received to the developer that your Form 4 is accepted. तो ये अभी ऑनलाइन है, यहाँ पे ऑनलाइन फॉर्म सबमिशन करना है, उसमें भी सारे डिटेल्स ऑटोमेटिकली आ जाएंगे। अगर ओसी है तो ओसी का जो डिटेल्स है वो मेंशन करना पड़ेगा, एंड दैट हैज टू बी जनरेटेड ऑनलाइन एंड देन टेकन अ प्रिंट बाय द architect, and we have to submit it to the RERA authority. So this form 4 is with respect to completion of the project. You will say OC आ गया तो complete हो गया, नहीं। OC के बाद if it is fit for occupancy, then only this form 4 can be issued. मतलब जो भी चीजें प्रोजेक्ट में प्रॉमिस किए थे वो डिलीवर हो गए, then form 4 can be issued. OC is that they can occupy, but form 4 is that it is fit for occupancy. This is the main section wherein the quarterly updates of the promoter is given. Here you can see section 11 में quarterly update status, everything needs to be updated on quarterly basis, that is given. Okay, so this details needs to be mentioned. And here you can see quarterly up-to-date status of the project means physical and financial status. That is the reason all the details needs to be updated quarterly. And section 11 read together with rule number 20. All the details are available for the public viewing, and all the details जो भी आपको दिखते हैं पब्लिक व्यू में, ये सारा इसका बैकग्राउंड है रूल नंबर 20। इसके वजह से वो सारे डिटेल्स वहाँ पे दिखते हैं। तो यहाँ पे वो मेंशन किया कि ये जो हम लोग जो भी चीजें अपलोड करेंगे वो वहाँ पे पब्लिक डोमेन में अवेलेबल रहेंगे। For quarterly updates, you have to refer order number 33 2022 dated 5th July 2022. So whatever quarterly updates, annual updates, regular updates, so ये classification जो दिया है ये order number 33 है। पहले order number 18 2021 था, उसको replace किया order number 33 2022 dated 5th July 2022. ये क्वार्टरली जो अपडेट्स करते हैं उसको बोलते हैं हम लोग फाइनेंशियल प्रोग्रेस रिपोर्टिंग सिस्टम। सो दिस सिस्टम इज कॉल्ड एज फाइनेंशियल रिपोर्टिंग प्रोग्रेस रिपोर्टिंग सिस्टम। ओके, एंड क्वार्टरली अपडेट्स का डेट्स है अप्रैल मई जून 20 जुलाई। सो नाउ दिस डेट्स वी हैव टू बी कॉशियस। पहले चलता था 20 तारीख के बाद भी किया तो भी प्रोजेक्ट अगर फाइन है, चल रहा है प्रॉपरली, तो देयर वर नो इश्यूज। Now it might be that you have delayed submission, you have not submitted timely, so this will reflect onto their system and they might charge the penalties also. Building plan approvals, what details are need to be updated on quarterly basis? Whatever approvals you get during the quarters, any change in the approvals, building floors बढ़ गए, additional floors आ गए, physical progress, बुकिंग स्टेटस, पार्किंग, नो विड्रॉ, बुकिंग स्टेटस मतलब क्वार्टरली जो सेल करते हैं डेटा वो, पार्किंग, पार्किंग कितने बेचा, कितना सेल किया वो हम लोग को मेंशन करना है, एंड नो विड्रॉल और सेल्फ डिक्लेरेशन। इफ देर इज नो विड्रॉवल ड्यूरिंग द क्वार्टर, only there are deposits, then a self declaration. There is no such format given by RERA, but it has been stated that if there is no withdrawal, then you can upload a self declaration on the portal. And whatever deposit, only deposit, मतलब मैंने समझो उस क्वार्टर में लाख रुपया लिया है तो क्वार्टर में वो मुझे बताना है कि मैंने लाख रुपया लिया तो है लेकिन कुछ भी विड्रॉवल नहीं है। सो फॉर्म वहाँ पे मैंने सबमिशन नहीं किया, वही फॉर्म 3 वहाँ पे रखा है अगर उसमें विड्रॉवल्स नहीं है तो। सो दैट मीन्स योर लिमिट इज देयर, सो यू डोंट हैव टू अवेल अ फ्रेश फॉर्म 3, बट इट इज ऑलवेज बेटर, क्योंकि कॉस्ट तो बढ़ते जाता है ना, तो कॉस्ट बढ़ते जाता है तो ऑलवेज बेटर दैट यू हैव सेपरेट फॉर्म 3 फॉर एवरी क्वार्टर। आप फॉर्म 3 वहाँ पे एडिशनल लेते रहो। Yeah, now many people assumes that once the project is completed, my work is done, मतलब उसी आ गया फॉर्म 4 आ गया तो हो गया काम। ऐसे नहीं है, आपको जब तक कन्वेंस डीड नहीं आता, यू हैव टू क्वार्टरली अपडेट द कन्वेंस स्टेटस, क्वार्टरली अपडेट कन्वेंस स्टेटस कि मैं सोसाइटी का अभी स्टैम्प ड्यूटीज का आ गया है, या फिर बात सोसाइटी के प्रॉपरली सारे कॉपरेशन नहीं कर रहे, वॉट एवर इज द स्टेटस you have applied for conveyance, so that needs to be updated, because as per law within 3 months from date of OC conveyance has to be done. And if it is not been done, why you are not doing it? Update it quarterly as per this order. There is a proper order number 2021 dated 28 July 2021, wherein it is clearly written that conveyance the status needs to be updated quarterly if conveyance deed is not signed. What are the compliances based on annual compliances? There are two annual compliances, that is Form 2A that has to be updated by 30th June and Form 5 that is to be updated by 30th September. Those who are having doubt, Form 2, 1, 2, 3 कभी update करना है? At the time of registration, previous limit fully utilized and at the interval of 90 days. So registration के टाइम पे करो, अगर previous limit जल्दी खत्म हो गया तो तभी करो, एंड क्वार्टरली तो करना ही। अभी ये जो इशू था ये पूरा सॉल्व हो गया है कि बैंक्स को सबमिट करना है कि नहीं करना है, तो देयर इज अ प्रॉपर फाइनेंशियल रेगुलेशंस, बैंक रेगुलेशंस, बैंक अकाउंट ऑपरेशंस रेगुलेशन वहाँ पे महारेरा ने ऑर्डर दिया हुआ है, सो दैट हैज टू बी रेफर्ड फॉर द पर्पस ऑफ बैंक विड्रॉवल। सो ये बैंक्स को सबमिट करना है, जब भी लिमिट एक्सपायर होगा, दैट सर्टिफिकेट्स हैज टू बी, दो सर्टिफिकेट जनरेटेड सर्टिफिकेट नीड्स टू बी submitted to the bank. Then there are regular updates, मतलब कुछ updates annual है, कुछ updates quarterly है, and कुछ time to time updates करने हैं. So which are those updates which you want to update on time to time? कुछ encumbrance में changes है, कुछ encumbrance मतलब कि मैंने लोन लिया है ड्यूरिंग द क्वार्टर, समझो प्रोजेक्ट लोन ले लिया तो मेरा encumbrance आ गया लैंड पे, कुछ यूनिट्स पे आ गया, वो मुझे स्टेटस अपडेट करना है। सेरसाई मतलब सेंट्रल रेगुलेटरी है फॉर सिक्योरिटाइजेशन एसेट्स, तो जो भी मॉर्गेज है उसके डिटेल्स वहाँ पे अपलोडेड होते हैं, तो एसेट बेस्ड रिपोर्ट एंड डेटा बेस्ड रिपोर्ट्स वहाँ पे अपलोड करना है। फिर प्रोजेक्ट प्रोफेशनल्स में कुछ चेंजेस हैं, सीए चेंज किया, आर्किटेक्ट चेंज किया, इंजीनियर चेंज किया, तो वो डिटेल्स एंड सोसाइटी फॉर्मेशन आपका विद इन 3 months ऑफ द डेट ऑफ फॉर्मेशन ऑफ, मतलब 51% अलॉटीज ने बुक किया है तो मुझे सोसाइटी फॉर्म करना है, तो उसका स्टेटस मुझे अपडेट करना है। फिर कुछ लिटिगेशंस आ गए प्रोजेक्ट में, किसी ने कोर्ट में केस फाइल कर दिया, कंज्यूमर फोरम, सिविल कोर्ट या कोई अदर फोरम में केस फाइल कर दिया मेरे प्रोजेक्ट के अगेंस्ट, तो वो मुझे वहाँ पे डिस्क्लोज करना है। महारेरा में जो कंप्लेंट फॉलो करेगा वो तो लिटिगेशन डिटेल्स में ऑटोमेटिकली आ जाएंगे। And on completion, what is to be done? On completion of the project, these are the mandatory things to be done. Form 4 needs to be uploaded, OC, and disclosure by promoter and association of allottees on conveyance. That they have to sign the conveyance deed, both of them, and वहाँ पे वो अपडेट करना है कि ये कन्वेंस का ये स्टेटस है। मतलब अगर वो कन्वेंस नहीं हुआ तो दोनों को साइन करके अपडेट करना है कि करंटली वी आर फेसिंग दीज इश्यूज, उसके लिए कन्वेंस डिले हो रहा है, तो ये वहाँ पे अपडेट करना है। See, these are certain articles wherein Marera had issued notices to many of the developers projects for not updating mandatory info on the projects, and now this will continue further. Still on the website you can check, they have reached till August 2023 for those projects, those who have registered till August 23 and they have not been updating quarterly, so उन्होंने notices भेजा था, उनके accounts freeze भी किए। For non-compliance also, Maharera had suspended registration of around 500 projects. These are the concern areas, if you will observe, why the registrations get delayed. And now due to new website, the registrations might further get delayed also because certain technical glitches, for example, they are asking for GST number compulsory. Then they are asking for address proof with respect to the premises. Where they are even asking for authorized signatory uh, documentation, the photos of the promoters. If you are an individual chartered accountant, they are asking for photo of the chartered accountant. So these are various details which now they have added in the new portal, and they are asking for compulsory. So many of them don't have GST number at the time of inception of the project. Now they are asking from the beginning itself that GST number. Hopefully, see, many of them, once they start selling or they have the GST, they opt for a GST later on, but now they have to be ready with their GST number for submission on the portal. Even for plotting project, they are asking GST number. So this is something which over the period will get rectified, and over the period, these technical issues will be solved, whatever inputs they might receive from the stakeholders. So MahaRERA was tracking those projects which are slow. So they were identifying on the basis of architect certificate and CA certificate. Now these figures are digital. So automatically they will understand कि comparative उन्होंने background में वो formula देख के कि क्या percentage है, क्या CA ने दिखाया है, वो पूरा उनको चार्ट ही मिल जाएगा कि ट्रैकिंग कि कैसे वो प्रोग्रेस फाइनेंशियल और आर्किटेक्ट का कंपेयर कर सकते हैं. MahaRERA upgrade software to prevent builders from using designated bank account for multiple projects. तो अभी तो वो केस स्पेसिफिक है, तो आपके जो भी अकाउंट्स आप मेंशन करोगे बैंक अकाउंट, वो अगर दूसरे प्रोजेक्ट में अगर आपने वो मेंशन किया है, so it will not allow you to enter those in that particular project. So one bank account in one single project. So that is given one RERA designated account. So this was entirely about the introduction, brief introduction of all the forms and certain aspects of the new portal with respect to those forms and whatever is important from the practice perspective. So you have to, as a practice person, as a chartered accountant, you have to be throughout the process of the project registration until the completion. You can be with them with respect to Form 3, with respect to quarterly compliance, where changes in bank accounts, changes in promoter, then any correction application needs to be filed. And even in litigation aspects, that is an opportunity. And the most important opportunity is a conciliation part also, wherein you can act as a conciliator between the promoter and the allottees and solve the disputes of the promoters. So these are the various opportunities and aspects which from the practice perspective as a RERA professional you are having. And now since the digital, the website is entirely digital, you will have a better overview of the entire project process, and you can guide even the customers from the due diligence point of view by scrutinizing the project, that whether there are defaults at the certain instances, there are many issues the promoters have committed in that particular project that can be pointed out at the beginning itself. Yes, the public view now they have changed, so many customers will face an issue with respect to the public view, which we can see as compared to the earlier view which was there in the old portal. So this will have various issues, but eventually that will be solved. The purpose is single flow of information, and that will get reflected in multiple applications, such as once you enter those project related information, it will get displayed in your correction application, it will get displayed in your extension application, then your case complaints, appeals. So one point of a single source of information, one form, and that will be displayed in multiple applications which MahaRERA is having. So here, even in complaints, we have seen a breakthrough change with respect to now objective based complaint module they have established, wherein what is the date of completion which was promised to you, what is the agreement value, many questions are asked to the complainant, and based on that they will track the response of the respondent, that complainant has uploaded this information in the complaint, and you have to select yes, no, if you'd agree with that or not. And accordingly, it will be better for the RERA authority to compare that, yes, whether they both agree with this information, then they can proceed accordingly. So that is a fantastic thing which, yes, obviously it might be a challenge, because in case of litigation, answering a one pointer is very difficult, because one thing can have a multiple inferences, but actually the facts remains the same, whether letter of allotment is issued, agreement for sale is issued, registered or not. So such questions remains the same. So these are the things which they have come up with in the complaints. And in complaints also, RERA and RERA, there is a common platform now. So all the data will freely flow from RERA to RERA, and appellate procedures will also be smooth. So hopefully these procedures will somehow reduce the time of your scrutiny registration. Now you will understand with whether your application is pending with respect to technical officer, whether he has recommended or completed, where exactly your application is pending, that will be displayed on the portal. And you can see to it that yes, my abhi mera technical ho gaya, mera legal ho gaya, because there are three various compliances, that is legal, technical, and your financial. So all these three desks are cleared. Your same thing will happen, desk 1 to desk 4 will continue, but only thing is desk 1 पे अभी मेरा technical के पास है, या फाइल मेरा लीगल के पास है, उसका रिकमेंडेशन क्या है, उसमें रिमार्क्स है, तो कहाँ पे वो इशू है, वो भी वहाँ पे सेक्शन समझेगा कि हाँ ये बैंक डिटेल्स में इशू है. सो यू कैन डायरेक्टली click on that and you can move to that part, and you can correct the bank accounts or whatever issue you are facing. So now I will open this forum for questions. We have half an hour. If you have any questions, we can discuss, or any issues you have, we can discuss. Yeah.
Few questions are there. What is the role of FMC in redevelopment project? Is it same as RERA auditor?
What is the role of?
FMC.
He might be asking for PMC.
Yeah, must be PMC, not FMC, right?
Yeah. So what is the role of PMC in?
Project management consultant.
No, PMC in project registration.
Uh,
See, role of PMC is as a contractor, right? So the society in the PMC is appointed in case of self-redevelopment. So self-redevelopment hai, to फिर society is the main promoter. And as a PMC, if they want to add them as a other landowner, see now they have classified on the new portal that promoter, there is one promoter, then we have promoter landowner, and then other landowner. And there is one more term that's investor also. So these three classifications, four classifications they have done. You can add if the PMC is managing the funding or managing the project by themselves. You can add them as an investor if you want to make them accountable, or the project management consultant will act as a contractor. So you can have section 14 related compliances from them, such as workmanship, quality, and assurance, everything. So entirely you can make them accountable if they are handling as a investor type, that they are constructing and on the basis of sale they are recovering the money. So that agreement you can upload and you can make them as a co-promoter, but the main promoter will always be the society only.
One more practical question is there. In one case, a promoter though had opened 3 bank accounts for a particular project, but the bank delayed in activating the bank accounts. So promoter took money in current account. Should one insist in redepositing in collection account or just be mentioned in observation?
So now, no, you have to mention in observation, because he has already withdrawn and he has already defaulted. So that has to be done. That, see, he has this was an issue. Don't mention the issue, because you are not there to give explanation for what is the issue being faced. You have to give as an observation that the money was not deposited in RERA account, but it is used for the project, then there is no issue. But if money is not deposited in RERA and it is not used for the project, then there is an issue. But don't go on explaining that there was a default in the banking side, so that is the reason he has deposited that part leave it to the promoter. In our form 3, we have to give our observation or conclusion, not the explanation given by the promoter to you. That can be as a documented form as a part of the management representation. Let him answer when if the RERA asks to the promoter that why you have done this. But if you go on explaining on behalf of the promoter, then there will be a fault. So you have to give conclusion or observation. Yes, he has not deposited, but there is no the amounts is utilized for the project. That's it.
One more question is regarding a website new website address. I think it is same, correct? For RERA
No, now
website.
the website is changed. So it is maharera.maharashtra.gov.in. Earlier it was maharera.mahaonline. So the middle word is changed. And now if you will access the old website, it won't work. So now they have completely shifted. So whatever documents or details you have to access, it is on the new website only, which is maharera.maharashtra.gov.in.
Okay. Is registration started?
Yes, registration started. There is a login. They have given all. If you will click on user login, you can proceed with new registration, create login. All the fields are enabled.
Whether initially details of Form 3 to be uploaded by promoters himself on website or CA has to log in via promoters login credentials and file the credentials. If
No,
CA logins
it
via
is not
promoters
like that.
logins,
It is not like a income tax website. So here, if you're managing is as a Form 3, if you're managing as a management consultant, if you're giving him service and registration and everything is with you, then you can upload the data and you can take the print on your form, on your letterhead, and you can get it signed. But everything, there is nothing as such that he has to upload the data. Then you will get your login, you will accept it, and then the print is to be taken. Nothing. Everything has to be done from the promoter's login.
one last question is regarding township conveyance. Please, if you can clarify on conveyance, since in a large township, conveyance will happen only when apex committee is formed. How would project be closed or shown as completed?
As per rules, it is clearly given. You can refer section number 17 and as per rule, I think so 9, rule number 9. So conveyance in respect to layout, they have clearly given. Then in case of layout, in case of single building in the layout, you have to do the structure conveyance. Suppose there are 5 buildings, podium, then your clubhouse, everything is there. So in that case, building wise conveyance needs to be done when the building is completed and the OC is obtained within 3 months of that OC. And the conveyance of the common area, that is undivided land, podium, all of the parking facilities, clubhouse, that has to be done after OC after OC of the last building in that particular layout within 3 months. So that has been clearly and properly explained in your rules. So not an issue, and accordingly now they have modified that application also, that if you are registering your projects in phases, so now they are asking that what is your total land area, how much land area you are using for registration of this project, and then how much you will use for next project, वो बाद में हर project में, तो ऐसे करके आपका total area जितने भी registrations आप create करोगे वो match हो जाएगा.
If GST collection is deposited in RERA account and then transferred to another bank account, how to present it?
That you have to give into the observations clearly. That GST amount has been deposited and accordingly the promoter has been withdrawn. So that needs to be mentioned in the observations of the certificate, because the fields are not editable. So accordingly, deposits related, any issue needs to be mentioned in your observations. Digital signature is possible. I am getting a question now. Digital sign not possible. PDF is generated, right? PDF is generated, that has to be physically signed. So on that also you can attach the digital signature and that same PDF can be attached. Only thing is system level digital signature जैसे income tax में है वैसे possible नहीं है. Here still the only thing यहाँ पे rectify उन्होंने किया है कि पहले हम लोग form offline fill करते थे, तो वो अभी ऑनलाइन फिल करके उसको प्रिंट निकालना है। तो जो प्रोजेक्ट नाम, प्रमोटर का नाम, ये अपने आप वो फॉर्म में कॉपी हो जाएगा। तो चांसेस ऑफ एरर्स गेट्स रिड्यूस्ड। इवन एस्टिमेटेड कॉस्ट बार बार हम लोग को मेंशन नहीं करना पड़ेगा, वो एक वो हर फॉर्म में वो प्रिंट होते जाएगा, अनलेस यू हैव अप्लाइड फॉर करेक्शन। हाउ टू फेस रेगुलेटर्स इफ अकाउंट इज फ्रीज्ड एंड पेनल्टी लेविड? See, if account is freezed and penalty is levied, then you have to first do the compliance, get the compliance ready from your side. You have to apply to the approach the regulator, RERA, that I have kept my compliance ready from the possession registration of the project till that till today. I have kept ready, and I assure that I will submit it properly. They might charge you whatever the penalty that needs to be. I think so 50,000 is almost charged. So that penalty needs to be paid. Then they will give you access to whatever the registration is there, and then you can upload it online, all the details, and you can get your account regularized. Due to site upgradation in RERA, whole month RERA registration can deposit. I'm not getting the question. Can receive deposit debit freeze in master collection account? Okay, so you meant to say that the duty due to RERA site upgradation, till the meanwhile, the banks, if they have asked for the certificate, then you whatever certificate you have, you can share it with them, and on that basis they won't have a debit freeze. If you will issue, see, what we are here doing is we are just now generating an online certificate, and we are signing physically only. But if you will sign the physical on letterhead properly, and you will issue till that time you generate, then there won't be an issue. I don't think so there is an issue. Till the time you are signing it properly after verifying it, there is no issue.
How form file will be done in new format for March 24?
So there will be a processor, form 5. In form 5 also there will be year wise tab. So year wise we have to fill the data, and accordingly those compliances which are not done for earlier period, that needs to be done. So it will give you, if you'll go in form 5, first we have to do the project update, properly project update, one-time update, whatever data as per the new system. Then it will allow you to upload the compliances which are not there or which are not uploaded earlier. All the documents which are not visible there, it will allow you to upload those documents. So still we will get some orders and circulars with respect to new website also for completion before your 1st September 2024, all those compliances, one-time compliances. So they might give us a separate order or circular also.
What if client has not opened RERA account? They are operational in current account only. The only observation I think we need to put, right?
What should be our view?
What should
See,
be
earlier there is if he is having a separate account earlier, then it is fine. It is not an issue. But after that, bank account operations, only it is applicable for the new projects. So for new projects, there has to be a mandatory escrow mechanism, because earlier there was no escrow mechanism notified. After the order number 56, the new notification came. So it is applicable for all the projects which will be registered after that date. So earlier projects can have one single account. That is not an issue. They don't have to follow those compliances. Only they need a separate account in which they will separate account for 70%.
Is it a earmarked account or some specific account is there with such certain caption, or how it is?
Now it is a proper facility. Banks will have 3 accounts, which is a collection account and your transaction account and the separate account. So these 3 accounts will be there. So 100% amount will be will come in collection account. It will get divided into 70% and 30%. But earlier this was not a necessity. You can have one separate account operated by us only, and in that 70% we have to keep. If we will deposit 100% and manage everything from there, then also it is fine. But 70% should be there at that time, in separate account. Now they have given a authority to bank to open these 3 mandatory accounts by these names. They have given a nomenclature proper what is to be used for opening those accounts. So in case of revenue sharing, there will be additional one account called as master account. So in master account, 100 rupees will come. And from that, if we both are promoters, promoter A and B, and we share 50-50%. So 50 will go to my collection account, 50 will go to his collection account. And from that collection, again, it will be divided to 70-30 separate and transaction account. And if it is area sharing, then every promoter will have his own 3 accounts. So in revenue sharing, only the main designated promoter will have a separate master account. And as per our ratio, it will get divided, and further it will get divided into 70-30.
If any notice is issued to the builder from RERA, is it available online or how one can verify?
Yeah, now there is an inbox facility given. If you will log in the promoter का login करोगे तो वहाँ पे inbox करके एक facility है, तो जो भी notices आपको promoter को issue होंगे वो वहाँ पे मिल जाएंगे, plus SMS आएगा, plus email भी आएगा. So this they have clear. So all the notices will be available in inbox given in portal. But those notices which are issued prior to 1st September 19, so directly the orders are available online, not the notices. Roznama and orders are available, but not the notices which were issued to the developer.
Let us take the last question. Is revenue sharing agreement revenue share agreement landowner and developer? Form would be one, in that case 70% withdrawal disclosed consolidated in form for withdrawal, right?
Yeah, I understand. Now basically they will have a one single form only, single form 3, and that it is a club form 3, then only it can be managed, because in bank account regulation it is written that the percentage withdrawal of the main designated promoter will be used by other promoters also. So there will be a one single form 3 you have to issue, taking all the inventories, all the cost, everything needs to be taken, and one single inventory.
I think there are no more questions. So, Aditya, it's a wonderful session. All of you will agree that taxation, whether it is direct tax, indirect tax, GST, income tax, or RERA, for real estate industry, it is always a complex subject. Compliance is always a complex matter for real estate industry. And when the speakers like Aditya is there with us, he has made the things so easy. He has practically explained each and every form from form 1 to 2A, 3, 4, 5 table from A to F. All the tables also he has explained what kind of compliances are required quarterly, annually, regular updates on completion, what to do, all that things. Entire session was really wonderful. The practical insights which you have thrown really will make the practitioners will help the practitioners to start the practice of RERA, those who are not into it, and will definitely those who are already into it got a very big insight about the forms. Thank you very much, Aditya, for sharing your valuable time and throw light on the subject. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.